This is As Yet Untitled, a show with no name, no topics, no agenda, no planning, no organisation, frankly. But we will come up with a title. That's our agenda for today. I can't do that on my own. I need help from my guests. So please, welcome my guests. Here they are. Welcome all of you. Gemma Cairney is here. Gemma Cairney, who disgraced herself at dinner and had a swell time on holiday. Gemma Cairney. Dave Johns, who is at his best on dry land and is completely at ease with celebrity. Dave Johns is here. Lucy Porter, welcome to Lucy. Lucy Porter, whose granddad saw the light and still hasn't spoken to Ken and Pat about it. And welcome back, Reece Shearsmith. Reece Shearsmith, who had something in his eye and whose mum is wary of stuffing. You're all very welcome. You're all right with your... I like your two... You got your 2 drinks?
May need to water it down.
Water it down. What is your grape of choice in there? Is it a Merlot?
I chose this because I thought it would make me look sophisticated.
Well, it does. I think it does.
But I'm now having massive drink envy of
It does, but all
Jim's.
it's done is block you from the camera. He's on a little cushion because the... I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it.
Too small to be seen over the roof of a wine glass. I should, you know, like in Vegas where they have women in big sort of champagne glasses writhing around. That's what I should have done. I should have just sat in the glass. Hi guys.
We're floating around in a tumbler. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that, Liz. Floating around in a tumbler.
Do you know where you used to get tumblers? Petrol stations.
Yeah.
You got them.
Oh, did you hear that noise?
Yeah.
That's a noise of disappointed people now. You've emptied, you've brought something out
But
of
you
them.
did, didn't you? You collected tigers.
That's right. That or Nutella jars.
You want to swap a tiger for a tumbler? I'd like to see that.
Didn't you make the... Wasn't the jar itself a tumbler in the Nutella jar?
Yeah.
There's a nod behind you,
Yeah,
right
thank
over your
you.
shoulder. That woman
Thank
there.
you. This is my section of the audience. They're going to back up anything I said, no matter if it's not true. Just like, yeah, Luke, yeah, that's right.
But yeah, you used to get tumblers in petrol stations.
This is my crew. We're going to have a dance-off later.
Oh, that sounds
With all the,
What was it? Tokens?
Yeah, you say the tokens.
Right. You know the Blue Peter thing where you used to collect the bottle tops?
Yeah.
For the blind. I thought it was that they put them on
Put them on their eyes.
so you could see. Did you? Yeah. So give it's a known thing. Yeah.
On the dogs?
No, on the dogs. On the
dog-
people, the blind.
There's these dogs going around like this.
That's no good for either party, is it?
No. Be a laugh.
I thought exactly
Exactly
that.
the same, you see.
And you don't know who to ask, could
No.
you? You just think, oh, that's
But
weird.
we've got to collect these.
Bottle tops for the blind.
So where do you get your tumblers now, then?
I was given some tumblers as a gift.
I'm sorry about that.
Imagine that. Imagine that from people who'd stayed in my house. And they said, yeah, we got you something. You've taken a fucking piss. Have you had a shit time? Haven't I fed you well? What is this? You don't want 4 tumblers. There's no room in the cupboards for any shit like this. They said they're wine glasses. Well, wine glasses have a stem, don't they? So that you don't interfere with the temperature of the beverage, do you, with your fingertips?
Is that what it is?
That's what it is. You're not
But then I always hold
No!
it
Oh,
I do that. I just rub it gently.
You sit and go like that with it on your face.
On your forehead.
Have a blowtorch. This wine's
No, you're supposed to...
Delicate, like
yeah,
that. With a finger.
Don't interfere with the beverage.
It's pretty trendy though, isn't it? Tumbler, small plate.
Tumbler of
Yeah.
wine, that's wrong.
Yeah, I'm not into it, but people like it.
It's because it's European, isn't it? So the Spanish have their wine in a tumbler, the French drink coffee in bowls, and I very much think that's why we voted Leave.
In the meantime, tell me about your mother and her stuffing.
Oh dear. Well, last time I was on here, it was a story about my mum and this sparrow which she snapped the legs off. Remember that?
Did, yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
But this new mum story,
That's brilliant.
God, it's like a public information film more than a story. She was round for a weekend with my mum and dad from Hull. They come and I cooked them Sunday lunch. And she was eating the food, and it was a big plate, and there's some stuffing on the thing, and she broke a tooth off her crown on this stuffing, which was too hard. And before I knew it...
Why is it so hard?
I don't know. It just... Very weak teeth, it must seem. Well, it wasn't hard for me. Anyway, so the next thing is, Reece, have you got any super glue? And I was like, why? And she went, one of my tooth has come off my crown. I was like, oh, well, yeah, I didn't think... Before, and the next thing I know is she glued the tooth back onto the crown and put it back in her mouth.
Whoa.
Before... And then she's in the mirror, and she said, Ray... And the tooth was glued to her tongue. It had come off the ground and was on her tongue. It happened within like 2 minutes. We're having Sunday lunch, and the next thing is I've got a mum with a tooth on her tongue.
So avant-garde.
So ridiculous. Yeah, it was like Salvador Dali or something.
It's so weird.
She's evolving at a different rate to the rest of us.
I'm not even going to think about it. So I had to pull it. I was the one in. I had to pull it off, the tooth off the tongue.
Did you pull our tongue out as well?
No, I think he pulled a bit. It was a bit. It came off in the end, but it was
okay. Wow.
It was
Did you use ice or anything?
No, I just haven't. Right,
numb it?
this whole still, you stew. I was very cross. So what are you doing, putting super glue in your mouth? It's not. Let it dry out.
I did once glue some magnets inside a bra.
What?
Okay, it was. I thought it would be good to have a ukulele that I would play and then take my
let go
hands
of it,
away
yeah.
and yeah. And I thought the best way to do this would be to put 2 little button magnets on the back of the ukulele, and then. You know, you think the super glue has dried, but it was fine. It wasn't. It didn't. Nothing was wrenched off.
The ukulele slipped slowly down your front.
But it held really well. But there was, when I went to then take the bra off, there was still a little bit of. I was like, oh, thank gosh, I didn't.
This is how it happened.
Yeah. And imagine how embarrassing that would be to go to Casualty with, you know.
They wouldn't believe the story, would they?
It really wouldn't.
There's a ukulele.
If you got the pools wrong, one would be an attracting, and one would be
like a
posing,
hovering.
and a ukulele would be.
Oh, what if you got?
That's a good look.
You could have attracting breasts, or your breasts might be fighting each other.
That'd be brilliant. You get breasts just going like that.
Oh, my breasts are at war! My breasts are at war! Oh, they might tell us I can't separate my breasts.
Well, because you know, like when you lie down, when you're sunbathing and it all, you know, everything kind of falls apart. You
Everything slips away.
You could sort of. I think there's something in this. I think there's something.
I can see that in Hamleys, the breast machine. People demonstrating it. Would you go in?
Operate the breast machine.
You can watch the rest of this episode on UK TV Play. And now for some extra stories that didn't make the show. Did you meet Steven Spielberg?
Oh yes.
Did you do that?
Steven Spielberg said he was talking to Ken, and I came, and then Ken left, and I came up, and Steven in the PR person said, "This is Dave Jones. He's in Ken's new film." And Spielberg goes, "Oh yeah," he goes, "I've heard a lot about it. I haven't seen the film again. I'm living in New Delhi with Juliette Binoche, yeah." He goes, "I haven't seen the film, but I hear it's a pretty, like I've heard great things about it." So I thought I better ask him about the BFG. So I went. So how's the BFG going? And he went. Yeah, it's we're really pleased. It's had great press, and people are really liking the film, you know. And I said, because Ken Loach, he couldn't do a film like the BFG. And he goes, well, I guess not, because he's more into political statements, and it wouldn't be the kind of film Ken would do. And I went, no, he'd want a real giant in it. And he stood like that, and he went. And I went, you can't get them. I says, you used to be able to get them a long time ago. Can I get giants now? And I went, I'm sure you found that out, didn't you? That you couldn't get a giant. And you could see his face. He was like...
He's thinking, I'm in a coma.
If Woody Allen's the lift, that's enough for me. But it was So I told him that he needed a big giant. Yeah. But it was weird because I thought I know this guy, I know this guy's face, and then the minute he went, this is. I went, of course, it's Steven Spielberg. Oh my God! Why wouldn't it be? And I thought if Janet Kranke walks through this door now, that's all bets are off. So,
Did you enjoy it?
Cannes was mad.
Yeah.
That was mad, man. We get into this, limos come up. I mean, the hotel we stayed in the day before, what do you call him? George Clooney.
Front, don't worry.
George Clooney and...
Chuckle Brothers.
And the Chuckle Brothers. Passed me on a skateboard.
To you, to me.
And Julia Roberts had just done their premiere. So the next day, these black limos come for you, right? And you get it, and you don't share it. You each get in one different limo.
It's a bit antisocial.
Yeah, and then you go down the street, right, with wee, like outriders, right, to this red carpet. It was hilarious.
Wow.
And so the car stops, and there are all piles of people with foot, and then the flunky comes round, and he opens the door, and I get out the thing, and they all went, oh, it's just some old... It's just some old baldy joint. What's it doing in there? And you can see them looking in the car. There must be somebody coming out after them. It's Jeanette Cranky! It's Jeanette Cranky! And then, of course, Ken gets out, and they all know Ken. They're all shouting, oh, tour, and they all love him, you know. But it was hilarious, you know. And it was just crazy. It was just... The whole thing was crazy. And we got a 15-minute stand ovation for the film, and it was just mad, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the idea. We did about 12 years ago now. We did a
Oh, yeah, sorry.
the child actor Dave Johns about 12 years ago. We did a production of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with Christian Slater off of the films.
Off of the films.
And
that'd be mean out, Dave Johns.
off of the films, I know. But and it was brilliant just to see Christian Slater, who has been Hollywood royalty since he was a kid, you know, to see him meet Dave Johns. And really have no idea. It was like meeting an alien species or something. He was like...
we had a break. We had a break on the first day, and I said to him, oh, Christian, I just want to say I really loved Minority Report. And he went, I wasn't in that. I went, I know, I just wanted to say I really loved it. And he goes, you bastard! When I get back to New Delhi, I'm going to tell him.
What about when Lizzie Roper had a vibrator in her pants? And you had the...
Are we allowed to talk about it?
And you had the remote control.
Clitty roulette.
Oh, no.
Lizzie Roper was the instigator of this. Yes, she just... Do you remember about that?
Clitty roulette. I remember it
yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But when the paying public came to see this show, little did they know.
Yeah, that Lizzie had a...
Lizzie was in the play with her.
Yeah.
And what machine was it she had in her pants?
She had this... She went round one of the sex shops and she found this vibrator that was remote controlled by a fob.
Like opening your car.
Yeah, in a car, right?
You go beep, beep.
Yeah.
Your arms go...
And obviously, Frances Barber, who is a very renowned actress, wouldn't have had that in her pants, no. And you, I think, were too frightened to have it in your pants.
I was quite scared, but I was just in character.
I was just in character. And so Lizzie decided...
Just for fun, or was it part of the character?
Yes, in the West, yes, it's written in. And this medication time, Mr. McMurphy.
Okay, it was messing about. It wasn't like the method.
It wasn't the method.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, we're going to start this rehearsals. Everybody get the vibrators on.
That's how Glenda Jackson's doing her Lear at the moment.
Yeah. It's much more fun.
You don't need a remote. It's just an option.
Oh, right.
Basically, what it is, it's the height. What it was sold like when she showed me the packet was that if you and your partner are going out for a dinner, and you would like to have some intimate sort of across the dinner table together, and the husband can have the remote control. You can have and you can go, would you like the soup, darling? What was that, darling? We got this.
This wine's terrific!
But it's good at a cocktail party if she's mingling on the other side of the room. Talking to Clooney.
I'm watching you. She's very highly strung, that young actress. And so she decided she would do this in her pants. And then what happened was...
Is it right that she asked for a volunteer
She asked for a volunteer.
Okay.
And because I've known Lizzie a long time, I said I'd be delighted, Lizzie.
You'd have done it if you'd known her for 5 minutes.
I'd be delighted, Lizzie.
So you were operating the fob?
I was, yes,
You were a
yes,
fob
yes.
handler, yeah.
Yes, you don't have that. Yes, I was fob handler. And yeah, and so we just... well, the idea was she shouldn't have known who was having it. It was passed around. And...
The audience.
yeah, the Guardian critic.
Now, were you chained to the wall at this point with the fob in your hand, or were you in the wing?
I did get off the wall a couple of times. Yeah. Hey, Alan, I got £1,000 a week for being hung on a wall.
What was your line?
Not what?
What was your line?
This is the best thing, right? Terry Johnson.
Yeah.
He directed it, and he got one of these big West End voice coaches in because we're all comics. He wanted. So.
The legendary Patsy Rodenberg, who has
Patsy
written all
Rodenberg.
the textbooks and...
So we're all standing in line. She goes, "Okay, now one has to project one's voice because you have to get right to the gods, and this is and so we have to tell you." She goes, "You." She goes, "What part are you playing?" I went, "I'm playing Ruckley." I'm playing Ruckley, and she goes, "Say one of your lines. Come to the front and say one of your lines." So I went to the front lines and I went, "Fuck 'em all!" and she goes, yes, powerful, fuck 'em all. That says everything. Fuck 'em all. That's the power, just fuck 'em all. She goes, "Give me another one of your lines." I went, "Fuck 'em all!" I goes, "That's all I see."